Today we're going to do something a little different. As you can see, I've got cars underneath covers and kind of a cleared out space. As you can see, a little bit different. Am I moving the camera too fast? I'm doing the vlog style up here like this, like it's an airplane. So anyway, I decided that since I got a little bit of downtime, I suppose I better turn this down or YouTube's gonna freak out, right? It's gonna freak out. So, okay, so I put everything up against the wall here as far as I could go. Got the ATV back inside. It spent like almost a month outside. And I don't know why I brought it inside while I was gonna do this. But anyway, now I'm gonna epoxy the floor on this side with these chips. Let's see if I can open it real quick. Oh, I can't open it. Oh, not one-handed anyway. Whoa. So these chips are gonna go on the floor. I kind of mixed them up with a bag of the blue chips, and then I got another bag of like sparkly chips, so it should look pretty cool on the floor. So hopefully we won't spill that. And so I'm gonna epoxy it in gray. However, I didn't know that stuff comes in bags now, not cans. So I have a separate can to mix it in, so I'm gonna try and put the bags into that can and see if we can't, where'd the bags go? I don't even know where the bags are now. Are they still in there? I thought I brought the bags out. Ah, there's the bags. Okay, so it evidently comes in bags now. I guess they're saving metal. And so I gotta mix these two bags together. And I guess from the instructions anyway, I haven't really opened the bag up, but I guess you gotta like break a seal and then mix the two together. And so I don't know if that's gonna give me the opportunity to use as much as I want versus using the whole bag. Once it's all mixed up, it's gonna harden. So I'm gonna try and do these areas that I was just gonna go by this line here, right? And just do what's from the line that way, move the car out of here, obviously. And then I've got some other paint to paint the edge here, this ledge here, so I don't have to waste epoxy. So I've got some gray paint just to paint this with, but I was just going to just do this stall here, and then I was gonna put the Camaro over there, and then I was gonna do this stall, and then, let me think, and then I was gonna move the SRX over to this one, and then the Volt, unfortunately, is gonna stay outside. But now that I've got to mix up a whole bag, I don't know what to do, because I'm going to look into it, see if I can't cut a corner and mix my own version up in the pail, and then tape the corner, and then and try and mix the exact same amount. I don't know, it's gonna be fun. So anyway, I think that's what I'm gonna try and do. So I just wanted to show you something, guys. You guys, something real quick here. So I'm sitting here prepping this floor for the epoxy, right? And normally I use some muriatic acid. I think I got some right here to clean the acid and open up the pores. First I degrease it with Purple Power, get all the grease and stuff like that, and even just some of the dirt that's embedded in the concrete, and use that for just the whole floor. And then I go over it with muriatic acid and open up the pores, get rid of any sealer, all that stuff. This shit's pretty nasty, so sorry, I just swore. So anyway, the kit comes with this powder stuff. And I've still just noticed that when I dumped some that was in the can, it was in the can, it was not activated yet. It was in the can, and I did that. I did this. A little bit slipped out of the can. Now it says not to apply it directly to the floor, but watch this. Watch it start to foam. Anybody see it foaming? It's hissing. It's actually hissing. I'll be quiet. It's actually hissing, starting to bubble up. Anybody see it bubbling right there? This one especially. That one there's really bubbling. Okay, oh yeah, it's bubbling over here too, like this in the streaks. So here's the thing. It smells exactly like muriatic acid. I mean, it smells identical to muriatic acid. So maybe there's some citric in there, but I think they figured out a way to powderize muriatic acid. And then, because they only give you so much, you can't overdo it, and you can't like kill a whole bunch of trees and stuff like that. See, and it smells exactly like muriatic acid. So I think they just figured out a way to dummy-proof muriatic acid, and I think I may after this I may I may put muriatic acid down anyway. Oh, that's strong. It'll make me sneeze. Oh, I'm having to sneeze. I told you I was gonna sneeze. So anyway, I'm gonna put all this stuff down like they telling me to, but then I think I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I got muriatic acid on here, because I hate it when that, see, it was down at the bottom. See, I was at the very bottom here. And see, this is the stuff coming out that I was saying that, oh, is this even recording? You know what? I think this is not recording. Okay, it is recording. I'm getting some weird messages on my screen here on my 7. So anyway, it's starting to bubble and foam just like muriatic acid does. So I think it's muriatic acid. I'm going to use some muriatic acid. It's really windy out today, so it'll be nice and ventilated. It'll probably still make me sneeze like crazy. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use a little bit of muriatic acid. Hose it down good. Scrub the floor. Make sure that the concrete's ready to take this epoxy. Because this is my daily driver stall. And it sees a little bit more use than this, where I do work in these stalls, but the cars mostly just sit in these stalls. I mean, it does see some wear, but this is like daily tire wear, so I'm worried about sticking here. So let me get to scrubbing, and then I'm gonna whip out the muriatic acid and do what they said not to do. And which I still find BS, because this smells exactly like muriatic acid. It's got that acidy burn to it. It foams on the concrete. To my knowledge, the only one thing that does foaming on concrete is muriatic acid. So I honestly think this powder is powdered muriatic acid. They figured out a way to powder latex. Where's my latex? I got a bottle of latex there, liquid latex, and they can powderize latex as well. So they dry it out somehow. I don't know how exactly they do it, but so I think that's what they did with this powder. So which is fine. Most people don't have muriatic acid, but I think I have a whole gallon here, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use some of it anyway. All right, be back in a couple. Okay, so you know how it said only to use this powder stuff that comes with the bag and not to use muriatic acid? Well, a few minutes ago, well, about half an hour ago, I had no opinion, because I was like, okay, let's just do this stuff like they tell me to. Put this ball up here so it doesn't keep bugging me when I'm painting. And so I didn't really have too much of an opinion, but I do now. Okay, so I washed with their solution the floor completely. As you can see, I used most of that. I scrubbed it, and then, like I said, I was going to go and mix up my own muriatic acid, pour it on the floor. And I'll tell you the dirt that came out of here, and I thought to myself, I'm just going to tell everybody the dirt that came out of here. You could see the floor. Well, you could see where I've poured it. I poured it with a can. You could see the stripes where I poured it, and it was burning into the concrete. Now maybe I had it a little bit too strong. The first one I had was 50-50. This one here I've got quite a bit less, about 20-80 or something like that. So, but I'm gonna do another coat. I'm gonna do another wash. And it won't be as much dirt as came out before, but it'll still be some dirt. So what I'm saying is that after they're using their product and it was supposedly ready to paint, I acid washed it, and the crap that came out after that was insane. So there was a lot of dirt, and you could really see it cleaning the concrete. So I'm going to clean it one more time with acid, and I'll do it with you. You'll do it with me. I'll put this on my head. I'll tilt it down a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to mix up some muriatic acid right now. I put about, I don't know, about 20%. Is this thing aimed down enough? Probably not. Probably looking at the wall, huh? Probably put about 10 to 15% maybe, something like that. I'll fill the rest up with water. Oops, flat. And I kind of agitate it a little bit so it's mixed up, because I'm going to use it right away. I'm not going to stir it or anything. Use the water to stir it. Okay, so let's go. Let's see. I want to make sure that when I look down, it isn't pointing too much down. I'm kind of guessing as to where this is. So watch this. Well, I mean, of course, it's on concrete. It's going to do this, but and like I said, I've already done this area, but I want to do it some more. This time I'm going to go this way, I think. And just spread it out right away. As soon as I can, I'm going to spread it out. Yes, I know. You know what I'm just thinking about? You know what I'm going to get in the comments? I'm going to get people saying, well, you're supposed to neutralize this stuff with baking soda. Yeah, well, I don't have 12 pounds of baking soda. So guess what? All you safety Sallies out there, just go ahead and tune out. Because I've done this before for many, many years. And muriatic acid is used all over the place in concrete solutions and all that stuff. And you don't have to, look, nobody's cat is gonna come lick the water and die because of my muriatic acid. I'm using so much water. I've already diluted it 10%. You know what I'm saying? So all you safety Sallies out there can just go to another channel, go to another video, everything will be fine. You'll wake up tomorrow, everything will be fine. Okay, so let's rinse it out a little bit. Let's rinse it out here, flat. Let's get this stuff out of here before it dries. I don't know if any of you could see how dirty that water is, but it's pretty dirty. So I'm still getting dirt off of it. Like I said, I want this stuff to stick. It's not like I paid $100 and some for and do all this labor because I want it to come up. I mean, it's puddling right here and I can see the dirt. Can you see how dirty it is? Maybe when it goes across the silver here, you can see how dirty it is. Look at that puddle right here. Look at this. Look at this. That's dirty. That is some dirty water. And so I'm going to continue to wash it with some more muriatic acid, diluted as heck. But I'm going to pretty much ready to go. We're going to start brushing and rolling the corner here. And then we'll get a nice little square going and we'll throw some chips in the air. And I got my grocery bag booties on. So I hopefully don't completely destroy my my shoes, even though I'm fully prepared to destroy my shoes. So anyway, let's start painting. I'll put you on my head and you know, we pretty much seen everything there is to do this. I acid washed it and I degreased it. I used the cleaner that they've got, supposedly citrus, and then I also used it's pretty clean. I mean, I suppose I could have scrubbed it even further. You can kind of see my brush strokes right there, my brush. But, I mean, there's no dust on that. So, well, I don't know, it's all mixed up. I was gonna put it in a can, but I just decided that since this is a 2.5 garage mix, that I was going to go ahead and I'll probably have to buy another 1-car kit to do the 3rd stall, and that way I'm sure that I can get, you know, enough coverage because I got one more bag of this, and that'll do that stall. This bag will do this stall. And then, oh shit. Okay, well that I didn't plan on. For some reason I was thinking it was gonna be a little less liquid than that. But I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Okay, so let's just clean this up with the roller here. Let's have to watch out for that spot. Hate wasting paint, man. Okay, now comes the other question. How is this gonna sit? Is that gonna sit like that? Okay, cool. Cool, let's get some epoxy down. This is just a cut in here. Like I said, the wall part is gonna get painted with another different type of paint. It's just a concrete paint instead of epoxy. So, all right, I'm pretty good with that. Put that aside until it's time. I think I'll put this on this side. Don't need the blade anymore. Let's get this roller. Oh, it's really, really thin. That's really strange because sometimes epoxy paint can be really, really thick. And I guess that's what I expected when I rolled it out. But it was anything but thick. Very, very thin. Which is a little bit scary, but hey, if they've got a formula that works, I guess, you know, it is what it is, you know. So we'll try and get a nice little square going, and then we'll throw the chips in the air and see how it goes. Not very much light in this corner, so I'm just gonna make sure I go over it enough that we got coverage, because I really don't want to have a thin area that I have to have a whole bunch of paint left over, and then a whole bunch of paint left over, and then I got a thin coat of paint on the floor. It doesn't make any sense, right? So, like I said, I can kind of see, I think the concrete is kind of sucking some of this up a little bit. Can you guys see this? Oh, sorry, I probably didn't dip this down enough, but I've probably been sitting there filming the walls, and I apologize for that. But my concentration is kind of more on this floor. I see that the concrete is kind of sucking some of the paint up, because I'll roll over it and it looks good, and then I'll look back at it again and it looks thin. So it looks to me like quite possibly the floor is maybe sucking some of that paint up. I'm gonna go to about half the floor, which is right about there, and we'll just roll this square out here. I'm gonna give it one more roll here, and we'll put some chips down, and we'll see how that goes, being I'm right next to the actually, I think I'm going to close that garage door for right now, because it's kind of blowing my vision all out. Oh boy. Blowing my vision out, and I really can't see very well. So this is what my neighbor told me to do, is just throw them in the air and let them fall. So this is what I'm gonna do, because before I really screwed up. Before I felt like I really didn't know what the heck I was doing, even though I went to school for this back in '04. I don't really remember them telling us what to do exactly. I mean, I don't really remember how they. I remember the demonstration and stuff, but I just don't remember. The last one I did was so. It was really spotty. It was like you could see, yeah, like that. Like I just dropped a whole bunch there. You can actually see that, you know. And I'm trying not to do that again, but. I don't know, it's not a perfect art, that's for sure. This is what I did last time. I just threw them like that. Well, the good thing is they're going a little further than I thought they would, actually. Yeah, okay. They're going a little further than I thought they would, so. All right, let's get this back here. Let's go around this stupid pole. A wet edge here, and we'll throw some chips in that area, and then boy, I hope it doesn't stay that way. I can actually see the line there that I had. I'm hoping that after a while it kind of all blends, and I think it will, but trying to get more over to that one area, but I'm just ending up in it's still a bit of a technique to get this stuff where you want it. Try to get it just right, you know. Okay, so let's run a wet edge here, and let's just keep going. I think I'm just gonna go side to side now, all the way till we get to the door, and then I'll have to kind of like paint my way into the door. So kind of almost wish I had somebody just standing here throwing chips in the air, because then I know I would always have a nice wet edge and stuff, you know. I'm worried about whether or not it's drying over there, and you know, trying to make sure the chips fall into wet paint, because if they don't, they probably won't stick as well. So let's just keep this edge going, and like I said, I'm worried about this edge right here, because I don't want it to look like I just stopped right there, because once the other side's done, you know what I mean, then there'll be a bunch of chips there too. So I don't want to, I don't know if those, I don't even know if those ones will stick. I have no idea. When I went to school in Las Vegas, not that this is a great, I mean, I keep saying it's a school, but it's not like some college or something. It's like, it was like a concrete decoration school, decorative concrete. And see, now those look like I guess maybe I'm not throwing them high enough or something. But the guy teaching the school, he just like threw them down and said, well, look, this is, I don't even remember what he was saying exactly. I remember him saying that, you know, if you do this, you know, this will happen. And he just took a whole handful and just threw them right down, didn't even throw them up in the air or anything. It was kind of funny. Now see this, I hate this. This completely looks like I spilled handfuls. You know what I mean? When they're all in one spot like that, I hate that. All right. And they don't seem to like to go near the wall, because the wall kind of like interferes with them, but whatever. Hopefully some of those stay. We'll see how many of these actually stay. You know what I mean? But I do like the chips. I like the chips on the floor. The chips is what makes it look way better than just epoxy paint. God, it just won't go into this one area. It's like there's a magnetic field or something. See, now that I'm seeing it, I'm kind of wanting more chips here and there, so and now that I know I got more chips than I originally thought, you know, kind of like I think I want some in there, but it's not going to go in there. So, all right, let's go ahead. God, keep saying that word. Let's go ahead. And this thing is digging into my head, man. Whew. Driving me crazy. Oh. All right, let's try and keep that wet edge going. I'm just gonna roll it right along here, like that. Try and dip into that a little bit, just keep that wet edge going. Another piece of junk came off the corner there. All right, so now I'm gonna try and make a nice little square right here. Man, this really sucks working without any music. Can't play any music because of the copyright trolls or the copyright gods. So I think I'm gonna bump this door. Man, getting a lot of fumes in here, humid. I'm sweating like crazy, even though it's like 60 degrees outside, or 70. Probably like 70. All right, I think I'm gonna throw some. Keep this wet edge going here. I want to keep this wet edge, because if I allow it to dry too much, then I'm worried that the chips won't stick. So I do think that throwing them in the air is probably the best, but I think along the edges you have to almost kind of like toss them where you want them, but I think going in the air is the best I've seen so far. That one's a little intense, a little too concentrated, but nobody's perfect. See, I tried to get it right there, and you just can't. You know, when you throw them in the air, it disperses them really good, but there's no control over it either. It's like, you know, they all end up in the edge here. I was trying to keep them within there, but it just doesn't work that way, you know. All right, so now let's just start pulling this guy, get this square going here. I think I'm gonna have to pour myself a little bit of paint, and I gotta leave myself an out to get that paint. So, man, I think I'm gonna end up throwing a lot of paint away. And that sucks. I could have probably done the walls with this, but you only got a couple hours pot life. And so I think that's probably about all I need. And I've got, oh man, I got a lot. Got lots. It sucks. Really, really sucks. Let me see here. I'm gonna go inside this little garage thing. Pray this thing doesn't just fall on me. So that I'll need that. And then let's get a nice little square going so we can catch up on my chips. let's do the chips again. Yeah, there's a couple areas that I don't like, that's for sure. A couple areas I don't like. For sure, for sure. But yeah, that's the best disbursement right there, because it just basically just flies into the air. And the only thing is anywhere you really need it on an edge, you have to kind of manually do it. So that's cool. I like it. I like it a lot better than before. What the hell was that? There's like some solid piece that was like holding together. And I mean, kind of using your fingers is like, it's kind of like using your fingers is to kind of like go like this is okay too. But if you want disbursement, even disbursement, that's the ticket right there. Ah boy, I just stepped on the roller. Ah, let me see. Yeah, that really sucks, man. I may have to use this to just go ahead and do the first coat on the wall here, because of course I don't have anything taped off either. That sucks. But I got so much paint that it's just stupid to not use it up here. And I think I have some time with the paint. It's not setting up yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint. Oh, and I just touched the base. I'm gonna go ahead and paint as much concrete as I can, because I know for a fact that I've got, man, I'm just sweating like crazy in this stupid headset thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and paint whatever I can here, because I know I've got the paint for it, for sure. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paint the wall and all that stuff, which I was gonna do in a different paint, but I was gonna do it in a different paint because, and no, I don't care about this threshold, because the door is gonna get replaced. So this threshold is no concern of mine. Matter of fact, I'll just paint the threshold. Paint it in epoxy. Let's see, get all the nooks and crannies here. Yeah, might as well use up some paint, because it doesn't make any sense to have it. It's just gonna go bad. It's just gonna go bad. Some of that'll show when I do the new door, so it's okay that I just painted some of that. Oh, I guess I never thought about what I'm gonna clean this up with. I forgot what I'm gonna clean the brush with, so I guess I'm just gonna throw this brush away, because it's pretty much toast. All right, now let me try not to kneel too much in this. Let me get this cut in here. Let me get this cut in here. And then let me get a straight line right here. Okay, I think I'm done with the brush. I'll stand it up right here for now. Let's get rolling some more here. In fact, let's check the camera and see if I'm even. Oh yeah, I'm still rolling. Boy, if you can see my forehead, I'm just sweating like crazy. Sweating like crazy. All right, let's get this rolled good and thick, because I got plenty of paint. Wow. Oh, I've got lots of paint. I don't know about you, but I feel bad about just wasting paint. I feel like, dang it, should have painted something else. You got a whole bunch of epoxy paint, you know, mixed up, and stuff isn't cheap. about 60 bucks a gallon because it's about $117. So, you know what I mean? So he kind of like, why? Let's try and do that. Have you set up to see? All right, let's try and sprinkle the edges here. It's so hard to get it real close to the edge. Let's try and do a small handful there. And then, like I said, the edge over here is kind of thin. Yeah. Now let's do some right here. It's snowing. All right, let's do a little bit close to the edge here. Do a little bit, a little handful right there. Handful right there. A handful right there. That's what I've been trying to get to. And right, geez, I still haven't got that little spot. I feel it's bare right there. Okay, let's keep painting here. Pretty happy with some of that. Looks like I got a big concentration of stuff right there, so we'll try and throw a little bit more here. Doesn't look too bad, does it, guys? See, it never goes exactly where you want. You think you have like a hole that you want to try and this bare spot, but then you throw it and it just doesn't go anywhere near where you think it should have gone. But all I know is that looks pretty dang good. I think I'm gonna set this inside. I think I'm gonna do this corner here and I'll throw that. Oops. Whoa, good thing it's a Glock. Right, oh, that would have been awesome and right in the paint, huh? Yeah, that would have been sweet. That would have been sweet for YouTube views, huh? Glock goes in the epoxy paint. Will it fire afterwards? I'm guessing probably not after that. If you let it dry, probably not, huh? All right. You know, I'm loving this, but the only thing that sucks is I have to put my cars outside for 3 days. 3 days, man. Hate my car sitting outside. Absolutely cannot stand my car sitting outside. Especially in the, you know, just the sunlight beats them up, but I mean, talking about spring storms and people that want to steal shit from you. And I mean, if I had a bunch of land, it'd be one story, but then you'd still have the elements that you're worried about, you know? So, I don't know, man. It's just not for me. I had to put my cars outside plenty of times in really bad weather as I had no choice, but now I have a choice and I'd much rather have my cars inside. So, let me see here. I'm gonna resort to doing a little bit of this here. I'm gonna throw this one up in the air. See how that goes. See, the problem is right near the edge. Oh, there's a nice batch just fell down. I don't know. I'd still like to. Somebody said put it in a sprinkler or something, but look at that big pile I just dropped right there. Jeez, man. Yeah, good thing is I think a bunch of stuff will be stored right here. So that's where I had all my tools before. So. Kind of thin. Let's give it one more here. Kind of thin over here. It's all about judgment, I guess. It's like the airbrush school that I took. They tell you, they stand behind you. You know, it's funny. I'll tell you an airbrush story. I went to this school where they're artists, supposedly. It was some old biker dude that was like a pretty good, he was a really good artist, but he's teaching people how to airbrush. And the problem is that, you know, almost anybody can learn how to airbrush, but the problem is that when you go to do it on your own, when they're standing there telling you everything that you need to do, it's really easy. And so as soon as they aren't there to tell you